Yo, it is time, good people. Let's get it in right now. I got to tell everybody right now, diversify your portfolio, diversify your bonds. So we are live. Let's get it in. Everybody, what's up? It's your boy Carcino here. And let's get to the point of the nitty gritty. They are not for to like this video. They already don't. They were already trying not to allow me to monetize it. They was already fighting me on this video, 6 ways to Sunday. This is the video they don't want me to make. um, I couldn't even put the name NBA in the title. They are submerging the views down. They're making sure it's not going anywhere. So make sure you share the video link. Um, Yeah, they don't want anybody to know the corruption. YouTube is in command of working with these guys to keep everybody who don't agree with what the status quo of the company is. They want to come against them. So you say anything bad about them, the YouTube will punish you for it. So that's where we at right now. So we all can see what this is. People are starting to see it right now. And just like he just said, rigged for that guy to win it. I don't understand this tournament right there. This is set up for LeBron to win. We're all right there in that criteria. But let's right now keep the criteria where it needs to be for right now. What's up, Easy Q? Say they're putting the Lakers against the weakest teams. It's just rigged. Hey, dude, that's for anybody that's paying attention to this thing. It is an entirely different event. Now they have people that they pay money to write these articles, and these articles are meant to be biased. They're meant to tell you a lie that clearly isn't the reality of what's going on out here. For 100% of the time, they have been just lying to you. Now, because they're lying to you, they're taking this in a whole different area. So we're going to have to go to a whole new plateau to see what in the world is happening around here. And now the whole thing is traveling at a speed of light because people want to hear the truth, but they don't want you to hear the truth at all. They're going to claim they're giving you the truth, but they're going to keep lying to you. Now, that dynamic needs to change, because if it doesn't change, then we have us following command of propaganda. And that's what we've been seeing a lot of it. Instead of sports, we get propaganda, what they call entertainment. But is it entertainment when you're not entertained? I was more entertained by competition. I was more entertained about people in the season of bringing back, or the spirit of bringing back real entertainment to the fans. And when you are not in the status quo of what they consider sports, and when you see that the in-season tournament is not doing that, if anybody says anything bad about it, they lash out immediately. They immediately turn around and start putting their detractors to work. And they want everybody to strike out against. So it was like, okay, well, all right, well, what are we going to do now? Because all of this, like he says, I don't care. We like the video, and thanks for giving us the the LBA LeBron basketball era. And right, exactly, no problem, Jeff. And that's X. Yeah, man, and it's like I risk so much. They've been sabotaging my page. They've been doing everything, man, and it's crazy. There is no way this would be happening. None of this is making any sense. So yeah, well, you're looking at a situation in which a lot of people are going to be disinterested in the situations that you see in front of you. It's always going to be a lot of people that's looking at this as the new thing of interest, because what they're trying to do is appease the people that don't watch basketball. Okay, you're trying to appease the TikTokers. You're trying to appease to any demographic you can, basically the casuals. You want to get them back. But the whole problem that you're having on your scale is that the people that actually watch the game, you're assuming that we're going to be okay with all this. And you ain't caring about us. You just want to get those little TikTokers involved. Well, that worked the first day of the tournament. Well, actually, the second day of the tournament, because the tournament happens on Tuesdays and Fridays. The most casual person don't know that. Okay, that's one. Two, the first day of the tournament, nobody really watched or knew it was the first day of the tournament till they start seeing the new courts and everything that was going on, right? So that was trending. They said, "Oh, it's a tournament going on." Like they thinking this tournament's going to be over in like a weekend. So they don't really follow all the stuff y'all been putting out with Richard Jefferson being the face of the NBA tournament. This blows my mind. But anyway, now that that was over, the Friday that they actually had a good first Friday. And the numbers were up. They did a lot of promotion. They was like, wow. And, they pay these people to write these articles. What they actually doing is comparing it to last year. Okay. Why are they comparing those numbers to last year? Okay. The reason why they're comparing those numbers to last year is because they're seeing what I'm seeing, and I know. They know last year's numbers were greater. I mean, were horrible than this year's. So they could say, well, compared to last year, the numbers are doing much better. They're winning right now. And that's what the whole end season tournament is about. Is it? Let's say you spent $10 million, right, to get a $1.2 million viewership. So the next year you spend $30 million, right? Or $20 million. Let's say 20. $20 million to get a 1.5 viewership, right? You did better than last year, or did you? The rating did better, but did the tournament do what you wanted to do? No. The tournament is not doing what they wanted to do. They think it's about everyone talking about the in-season tournament or the NBA season right about now, and they still isn't. They're not competing in the NFL numbers. They're not competing with college football. They're not. They're not in the standards of anything. They're still in the same boat they're in because they're avoiding a problem that they can't seem to fix. The problem that they're trying to fix is on a scale of you have to fix the major problem that is to be, and you're not fixing that. And by not fixing it, you're creating a bigger hole for yourself. Now we're going to get even more interesting. Now, this is the main concern. The actual casual fan don't know because the actual people that watch basketball don't even know. How does this thing work? Because you're setting it up like international soccer, like Premier League, setting it up like FIFA. So if you're setting it up, counting points and everything else, most Americans don't watch soccer. So I'll tell you that now, and they damn sure don't watch the tournaments that happen in How they doing it in World Cup, this group, that's this group. How many people from this group is going to that group? They don't have time for that. Okay. They're not caring. So when you're trying to stage the NBA like it's soccer, you're already screwing up. One, never confuse your audience. Two, whenever you got to explain it every time it comes on television, you know you've overcomplicated a simple situation. Now, instead of making something interesting, you made it really bland. And I didn't even get to the actual courts, the repainting of the courts. Repainting of the courts is a terrible idea. Repainting the courts to make it look the way you do is going to send everybody into an epilepsy breakdown. People was like, I can't believe the NBA approved this. I mean, like, I can. Look who's in charge. Nobody. You have Adam Silver Slipper who comes up with these ideas and let the LeBron James and his brain trust come up with these promotional ideas to sell you things because that's the only thing he was good at in the NBA was coming up with NBA cares and all these promotional things for charity and all these events. But the game of basketball, he does not understand. He doesn't understand there's certain parts of the game you don't change, you don't tamper with, you don't mess with the All-Star game. You don't mess with that format. He did it and he screwed it up. And then they pissed fans off who actually watch basketball. Okay, he had the NBA awards show, screwed that up, throwing millions of dollars down the drain. And for what? Nothing. Nobody cared about it. So you're losing money on the NBA awards. You're losing money with the All-Star games. Now you're finna lose money on the in-season tournament. Three major failures of Adam Silver. It's going to be complete. His failure is almost complete. So now it's not a competitive. I wouldn't even bet on Tuesdays and Fridays if I'm anybody else because it's so colluded. You put the Los Angeles Lakers against subpar talent in this tournament to keep them winning. They're going to play like the greatest team in the NBA on Tuesdays and Fridays. Come on. Really? It's like we know what this is. You need LeBron in there and the Lakers in there to sell this because you can't. This tournament was supposed to be created so that the smaller teams that don't have a chance at winning an NBA championship could at least get a trophy, right? That's what they sold you on, just so they could stick LeBron James in this tournament to get him to the NBA Finals or to this Cup championship to give it the boost and the promotion it needs. It's the same problem they got with the finals. So now you got two NBA finals, right? And everybody's supposed to tune in to watch this tournament when LeBron goes for the cup. People are just sit back and wait till that game happens, just like they do the playoffs. And the reason why you can't garnish the interest of the public is because you're trying to dictate winning and losing to people in an uninteresting way. Let the game play out. It'll take care of itself. See, the NBA can't survive and play game to game and let the best team win because then the NBA champions might be the Sacramento Kings and the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. They couldn't have that. You can't have the Milwaukee Bucks playing the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals and to see who's going to go to the NBA championship. Now, that just ain't going to sell. The Indiana Pacers versus the Sacramento Kings in the NBA Finals. I'll be like, yes! But your casual is going to be like, okay, it's a regular game night. This is the finals. So they know they can't sell tickets that way because they have not been promoting the league the way they should. If they did, this wouldn't be such a problem. The Sacramento's is a marketable team, but they're a small market, so they just don't see the value in it. Let's just keep talking Golden State, Lakers, and everybody else. So Yeah, so this is where the problem lies. Thanks, nephew Davis. Well, they're gonna keep going, and this is why I had problems getting on live today. I had problems trying to get this stream going. They've been trying to sabotage everything we've been doing. And am I losing bets on that tournament? Absolutely not. I know to stay away because I'll be like, oh yeah, today is Friday. Oh, today is Tuesday. Got to stay away from those Tuesdays and Friday games. They're out of control. The scoring is out of control. And only on Tuesdays and Fridays, you're going to see 145 to 120 something because they're adding the points up. Now, you got to start adding yourself. If there's no magnet ball, why the hell the points are so high? The Lakers can't play good on Wednesdays and Mondays, but they can play good on Tuesdays. Then they can play good on Fridays. It's bullshit. They're always going to get cheated out of it, and this is the problem you're dealing with when the game is no longer entertaining and people are no longer calling things out because you have casuals tuning into the game, but they're really not. They're tuning in on social media to see clips on YouTube. They come to YouTube to see the clips. How do I sound crazy when this is actually what's happening? Now, how is it failing? Because the NBA is spending more money to have just a slight advantage over last year. But halt, right? This Tuesday and Friday, the ratings weren't good at all. Mm-mm. The games just played Tuesday, right? You got another game coming up Friday. Tuesday's games was such a disaster. They didn't even post the numbers. But I can tell you right now, the numbers were lower than they were last year. And they're not going to post that. So you're not gaining more viewership. You're spending more money to try to get more appeased, right? So this is just the start. It's the impetus. They know they're going to struggle coming out the gate because people are unfamiliar with it. So he's investing all of this wasted revenue into a 3-year project. So for 3 years, the NBA, who's on a lifeline that's only on a check by check basis, once in them, which means like yearly. So when they come to the annual year, they can't afford to have a season like we're going to go on strike this season and we're going to just call the season. They can't afford that. The whole team, the thing would go into bankruptcy because they only live year by year by year. That's the only way they can make it. They haven't built up enough revenue or resources. All their things come from ads. So if they lose their ad revenue, they're broke. So that's it. The television rights and the contracts alone won't be enough to hold the entire league. So without the ad revenue, they're broke. So it's just like a YouTuber. They take away your ad revenue, you're broke on YouTube, right? So that's their lifeline. They're bragging about a guy who has 39,000 points. He's played 21 years. To get 31,900 points isn't hard to do when you've played that long. I mean, you got Anthony Edwards playing right now, and he's already ahead of LeBron's numbers when LeBron was playing at his age. You got Luka Doncic, who's already ahead of LeBron James in every statistical category when LeBron was his age, playing in the NBA. So if you're looking at it right now, LeBron's first 4 or 5 seasons, look at Luka Doncic's first 4 or 5 seasons. Luka has him beat in every statistical category. So when I said it 3 years ago that Luka Doncic was better than LeBron James, I wasn't lying. Now, yeah, Jason Lewis, those called facts. Hit the like button up. The super chat works. The name is still Carcino. and definitely like it up. My Patreon is Carcino for Life. We talked about yesterday, we gave y'all all the tiers. We showed y'all about buying a brand franchise. We talked about that. We did a whole lot of things yesterday. So definitely proud of that. No, we're going to get into a lot of this about this in-season tournament. I can even put the word NBA in the title. So I had to say in-season tournament. I couldn't put NBA nowhere in this thing. Now, why is that? Anybody else could say the NBA, the NBA, the NBA, the NBA. They don't want me to say anything about this league, or they're punishing me. They've been punishing me. Withholding my views, telling me lie after lie. Oh, the tournament is doing exactly what it's intended to do. That's what they're telling you. They paid these writers to come here and write this puff piece crap about the in-season tournament so that the casual people can read it and say, hey, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Just like Monday Night Football. What happened Monday Night Football, right? They kept showing you Justin Hurts' knee. Jalen Hurts' knee. Oh, Jalen Hurts' knee. Jalen Hurts' knee. Jalen Hurts' knee. Look at his knee. He's got a brace on his knee. And this knee, his knee. He did not limp once in that game. But they kept talking about his knee. His knee. You got to watch his knee. He's not doing this. He's not moving. So the casual that watches it, eventually what they're going to say, wow, man, his knee. His knee wasn't messed up. Man, he did that. His knee's messed up. It's automatic programming. So you can already have the excuse for anything that goes wrong with Jalen Hurts is his knee. And I said, don't let that brainwash get to you. That's how they do it. They say it enough times over and over again till it's infested in your brain till that's what's going on. And you see he ran in for a touchdown. He ran and got the first downs. He had no problems doing what he needed to do. Didn't grimace, didn't grab his knee, didn't do any of these things. Not to say he don't have a sore knee, but it wasn't a problem. Okay, for the game. So, yeah, they got people talking about the courts. It's been all this talk about the NBA courts and what they look like. So people are sharing it on TikTok. That stuff does not gather your attention. You're not going to grab those people and bring them to the NBA. All they're doing is sharing it on there, and they're talking about how stupid it looks. Nobody is saying how cool the court looks. People are like, dude, I think I'm going to have a seizure if I keep watching this because of the way these courts are just way too bright. Why would they even do this? Now, everybody's talking about, like, De'Aaron Fox is like, I'm just interested to see how it happened, like how this stuff's going to work. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I think it's dumb because I don't. I think it could be interesting for the league. No, it's not. Now, when they went into Tuesday, they had the 60 games in the group in the inaugural tournament that have been played. The ratings are up. The games that's being shown on ESPN has got 55% more viewerships than the ones compared to the windows it got last year. It's not actually must-see TV yet. Those tournament games shown nationally draw about 1.7 million viewers. But better numbers are better numbers, which is the point, right? No. It's what you're spending to get it. If I spent 10 million to get that, now I'm spending 20 million plus to get the same number or just a little bump more. I'm losing. Because if I'm paying 10 million and then I was getting those views and I was losing then, and we're down, why in the world am I spending more money just to have a little bit of a bump, which means we're still losing? They're losing right now. They're thinking, oh, no, we got more interest in the beginning of the season. No, you don't. Nobody really cares until this NFL season is over, or at least to after Christmas. They don't start paying attention to the NBA until that's done. It's common sense. I don't know why is it so hard for people to understand. Just like Easy Q said, they put the Lakers against the weakest teams. It is rigged. That's why it's gonna fail. Because you're once again trying to control the outcome. And when you have a commissioner and Adam Silver who's inept at his job, but no one wants to acknowledge it, this is what the problem is. Of course, LeBron's going to like it. It's designed to be around him. Whenever you got all of these so-called groups and all these people around that's doing all these things, they want the Atlanta Falcons or whatever, the Hawks to be involved at some point. Trey Young, all these superstars. They don't care about teams like Detroit. They ain't going to let Detroit win the cup. Oh, it's going to give those smaller teams a chance. How? They're still playing the same 30 teams they play every night. So then if they couldn't beat them in regular season for the trophy, hell, they ain't going to beat them in this little tournament you got. That the players are not allowed to talk negatively about. If a player think it's stupid, he can't say it. He's got to roll with it. Right, they had the Utah Jazz versus the Lakers, two undefeateds. Undefeateds? They weren't undefeated. The Jazz just lost to the Suns. But it don't matter. I don't care about this tournament. Not because I hate LeBron and everything else. I thought this was a dumb idea from the beginning. And I said this is going to cause a loss for the league because what they think is public interest is not going to transfer into dollars. What you're transferring to is more of a mess. This is not helping selling city jerseys. This is not helping selling anything except for new court designs on NBA 2K. That's it. Other than that, this is trash. I mean, absolutely trash. Good. No. Here's what's wrong with the league. Okay, we're gonna get into that. Well, maybe I'm going too fast. We'll slow down for that. I'll tell you what's wrong with the league and why this tournament is messed up. Okay. Oh, well, you got these people like, when this tournament supposed to suck? It does. Watching blowouts, watching setup games, watching like weird stuff happen with the basketball. It just does. That's not intriguing to us. So making these fake propaganda videos to try to promote it does not work on me. I know what my eyes see. So you can't sit there and tell me it's working. No, it's not working because it's pointless. And this is why I tried to get people to understand that if they put their time and energy into making the league better, which they don't want to do, they're sitting here coming up with this tournament that just shoots themselves right in the foot in terms of new change to the league. Because does the winning team gets anything that counts towards a playoff spot or a championship? No. So why does the NBA do this? Right? It's obvious. They're desperate for ratings, but the problem is this doesn't change anything. I'm not gonna eagerly run to my television set and watch regular season games between um, OKC versus the Spurs because it counts towards group play. I mean, I'll watch that game because I like the sport of basketball, but I'm just saying the average casual fan is not going to jump up. If I'm in the casual fan from Detroit, I'm not going to jump up to watch OKC versus the Spurs. Okay? Not finna watch the Portland Trailblazers versus the Washington Wizards, and I'm in Chicago. That's not gonna intrigue me if I'm a casual fan. And say, oh well, this counts towards group play. I gotta watch it. No one is doing that, bro. And if anybody's in here saying that, you're a liar. No one's doing that. No one's saying that. And this is the Bleeps problem that they have. So I'm glad you guys are here and that you guys could see it for yourself because I've been trying to explain this to people and they're just not seeming to get it. It's another way to say LeBron's first first weight championship win. What you say? It's a way to say LeBron's first championship win. I know they trying to do all of these different tactics. The league should just hire me. If I'm hired, they hire me. The first thing I'm doing is firing Adam Silver. That's the first step. First step in the office, first move, firing out Adam Silver would be my job. And I would sit down and have a very long conversation with him before I fire him. And I said, this is why you're fired. Then we got a lot of work to do here. And they say, well, you're not going to make any money unless you start promoting LeBron. I'm like, we're not going to make any money for a couple of years because we're going to write this shit. We're going to write this shit. We got talent here and we're not marketing it because we're wasting time marketing a 40-year-old man. Why are we marketing a 40-year-old guy to the league, to the public and saying, hey, this is 40-year-old guy. We should appreciate him. He's special. He's a dinosaur. He can't run. He can't jump. He can't do anything exciting and appeasing, but watch him. That's what Adam Silver is selling you. So he's telling young people, watch a dinosaur, watch somebody your parents' age run around out here on the court trying to compete with 19 and 20-year-olds. But watch LeBron. Don't watch the 19 and 20-year-olds who's, the people that you look up to who's in your age bracket, who talks your language. Listen to your old man. Listen to your own parents. Little kids don't think their parents are cool. Okay, so why would they think LeBron's cool? They don't. So now you've created this thing where you shot yourself in the foot. So now when you go into this situation and you don't see winning teams getting anything that counts towards a playoff spot or a championship, you're like, okay, well, what am I doing here? Perhaps this is an attempt to decrease the load management and keep players invested and motivated to play for the money. There's another flaw. Sure, a low-level team like, the Detroit Pistons or something like that, they could use the $500K per player. They could when they win. Believe me, the 12th guy on the team would love that money. You're gonna need it. But Grayson Allen or Reggie Jackson, role players and stuff, they'll love that extra $500K. But you ain't gonna get people that care about money that isn't even worth a quarter of their yearly earnings. Like Steph Curry gonna be like, I'm playing for this chip because it is $500K. At least I get that $500K, man. But Kevin Durant, you see him getting geeked up over this. That doesn't feel good enough to go all out on a night in November. He's not gonna play hard and want to kill himself and be like, look, it's over. Like we didn't win it. Don't need to kill ourselves. It's still the regular season. We got the championship to try to win. It's the same thing about the bubble, man. It's the same thing about the bubble. It's like, why are they trying to kill themselves? Half of the guys that didn't even want to be there. Now, maybe there'll be bit of a spike in a couple of games in Vegas when it comes down to that. It's going to be a spike, but you're overpaying the money. All the money you're spending, you're not getting back in return more than what you're spending. So it's going to be a major problem. They average about 1.5 million viewers per night the last past regular season, which is a lie. So more like 1.3 than 1.2. Now, here's the thing. Via the Athletic, which is not a bad number whatsoever, but here's the good thing as the NFL during the regular season. That's because the NBA comes to a dime a dozens type of layout, right? Where the NFL they come around just 3 times per week, for half of the year. So there's a small gap for the NFL, and it's massive. So they make all that money in the fewer games. Can you imagine if the NFL played as long as they played 80 some odd games? If they decided to do all that? Now the NBA just took the value of having a monopoly over the basketball world, and like soccer leagues, the goals for expiring basketball players to get to the American League. So if you want to see the best players play the best, you go to the NBA. So that's why a lot of people like to compete with them and come there. So the tournament just adds a meaningless trophy that has players put in more of their time and energy for something that isn't a championship. I can understand and respect Adam Silver though, in the league for trying to get something that would catch the eye of the fans in a long 82 game season. But here's where we come to where I was trying to go to earlier. Here's the problem with the league. They are starting at the wrong damn time. You're starting your season in October and November, which is stupid. The NBA should start in December. It should never start in October, and it never should start in November. Christmas time or the middle of December, so you can get those first week kicks out, get everybody back in there, so you can have your Christmas games, and guys kind of got to play because everybody on Christmas is going to be watching that. After New Year's, boom, everybody's getting ready to kick things into gear. So the shorter you make it or condense it to 75 games, just taking about 5-6 games away, you've already created a space to where guys can be moved. It's more faster. Things get picked up a little bit. So I don't. Other than that, I wouldn't change anything that's grand or something that's going to make everybody jump out of their skin or say, "Oh man, this is too fast. I don't know about this." No, this is what needs to be done. So people have to make those decisions sooner or later. Every Laker tournament game is so corrupt. I mean, I turned and started watching Married with Children reruns. So in the second quarter, after that was over, I turned and watched reruns by, you know, Al Bundy. Well, here's the thing. It's terrible out here, and because it's terrible, you have a lot of people shifting and moving and maneuvering, and they're trying. Ooh, sorry about that. They're trying to come up with their best rendition of what the NBA needs. The NBA needs to start in December. That's putting yourself on the right track. Okay. You want to hold your little tournament outside of the NBA season. Having it in the NBA season just makes it stupid. So you might as well, if you want to use those 2 months for something, have your tournament within those 2 months. All right. If you want to waste your money, put it over there where nobody can be distracted about it, like the other games in the week. They can just be focused right on the tournament. Then you have a clear cut winner when it's over. All this points and all that crap, you better do all of that in that little bubble and window of time while you got these guys. So they're gonna either win or lose, fizz out, whatever. So whoever wins the cup, they go into the season with the cup and everything else in December. But you want to have that thing early. Now, I'm saying to all you guys here, man, I appreciate all the love and support, and you guys have really been putting it out. And hit the like button. Don't forget that. Um, I know, man. LeBron is carrying the LG. Oh my God! All I can tell you is LeBron and Adam Silver slipper are carrying them, and that's about it. Other than that, I don't agree with that assessment. But they're using a lot of antics to try to go and disguise what they're trying to do. Oh, okay. I can believe I can't believe all the stuff that was going on. He said they did it again. Yeah, they did it. All this stuff is gonna happen when these guys come through. You need me rested for the game? Which game? Which game you need me rested for? Because I'm trying to figure out. I know it's just I know I can't even get any work done too much. A lot of people is trying to. The WNBA is better now than the NBA. No, I wouldn't go that far. I ain't going that far. They make them more, pretty much, but other than that, man, I don't really see it. Oh, the Lakers and Mavs, that's tonight, and I can't even bet it. That sucks. So yeah, I'll definitely watch it when it comes on. So I'm try to get a little quick nap in and stuff before everything really blows up. But that's the problem with the league right now. It's unnecessary. There's no real urgency to have this tournament. Like, what do we need the in season tournament for? It doesn't do anything for the NBA. Like, what is this? Like, did the players say we need a cup? Do the players say they needed this? Is this going to make what better for the NBA? I don't understand it. This taken away from your NBA finals is going to make it, you're diluting it by having a championship cup in the middle of the NBA finals. What do you think? Which one you think the fans are going to care about? This is a survey question. So we'll let the chat decide which one you care about, the NBA Cup or the NBA Championship. Which one would you rather have? Right? NBA Finals, the chip, the Larry O.B. baby, the Larry O.B. Why? Because it has history, it has trend, it has foundation. As long as it has tradition, history, foundation, all of these things matter. You know, it goes back hundreds of years that even precedes you. So if it precedes you and goes back that far, hundreds of years, the game's been played. You know, that don't mean that's these 90 kids, but for us, it's everything. So the game is always going to be respected because of that history, that legacy. We got to win a championship. We got to pay this team back. So if you want to start a new tradition, but my God, don't do it in the middle of the season that's supposed to count, you know, and make a mockery out of it. If you want to spend All-Star weekend on a game, fine. But we see what it is. Everybody sees what this is. So they're just trying to make their way in the figure eight, but they see the problem. They might not address the problem, but they see it as a problem. So I mean, it's just really a lot of people not on the same page, and a lot of people are feeling different about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man, and get prepared for the game. Man, it gets time flies quick here, man. Shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life. I want to say shouts out to One Crack News. I want to say shouts out to Welcome to HD IITV, Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez, Armando Black TV, if I didn't say that already. And I am out the door before 4. Thank y'all for making this video live. Don't forget to share it on your page.